Our healthcare workers are on the front line of this pandemic, and this morning we're hearing exclusively from a Houston nurse who actually tested positive for COVID-19. Trey got the interview, and he's joining us again with more.
Yeah, that's right. So I initially got word of this nurse's story because of Facebook. So I reached out and we talked yesterday via FaceTime, and I was certainly in for a surprise. Now, this is Regina Fenner. She's an ER nurse at the Lyndon B. Johnson Hospital here in Houston. Now, not only does she test positive for COVID-19, but get this, she just recently graduated from nursing school and has been on the job for merely 3 months. Now, after getting her positive result and going home to quarantine, Regina took to Facebook, and it's what she's posted that's getting a lot of attention. Now, wearing her PPE and face mask, she painted the picture of how easily this virus spreads, and that really struck a chord with many. Now take a closer look at her post. It reads in part, and I quote, "Think about all the money exchanged, the doorknobs touched, the basket at Hobby Lobby I pushed down the endless aisles. Now think about the grandmother who gets that basket after me. Maybe she's sewing a quilt for her soon-to-be great-grandchild, or maybe gets a live, laugh, love frame. Who knows? I don't know her life, but regardless, I could have been a vehicle for so much harm and heartbreak and not knowing it." End quote. Now here's what Regina had to say about her post.
And I was thinking about my normal life and how many places I would go, and if I didn't know that I was sick, just the thought of like, who would I hurt without ever knowing it? Like, it's like a ripple effect of like, there's innocent people who expect that when they go out somewhere that they're safe. That's part of, just life, is you don't expect when you sit in a chair for it to just break. You have trust in that chair. And when you go, similarly, when you go out to a store to buy groceries, you have trust that nothing bad is going to happen. And now we're in this time of uncertainty of any moment I could get this illness that could leave me asymptomatic or could leave me on a respirator, on a ventilator for a long, long time.
Now, as Texas starts to reopen today, Regina's message to the community is simple and sincere.
I understand both sides. Like, on one hand, my father is a small business owner, and so I see the heartache of like families that are struggling with everything being shut down and money being really tough. Then on the other side, I see what happens in the hospital, and I see like how heavy it can be. So I just think my message, because I don't know what the answer is, I don't feel one way or the other, like this should be done. But I definitely would say people who are going out, wear a mask. Like, that can do so much good. If you wear a mask and everyone around you wears a mask, I think that can make a huge difference. And also social distance still. Like, if I were to have gone over to my parents' house after this, who knows what could have happened. And so I just think that even though we have the restrictions lifted, like, we're not in the clear. We still have a marathon ahead of us in terms of getting through this and everyone being safe, whatever that might mean in the future.
Now, Regina's roommate, who's also a nurse, also tested positive, and they tell me they're both feeling fine and will remain quarantined until further notice. Well, coming